Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Spurs channel, and welcome to, I guess what you could say is a bit of a transfer roundup. We've got a bit of a, I say we bit of a roundup. It is a roundup. We've also still got to talk about Liverpool on Wednesday evening, so it's about 2 hours. In about 2 hours' time, it'll be 2 days exactly. So we'll be talking about that game because there was some stuff that I sort of saw yesterday in the Man United game that I wanted to kind of highlight. And look, it may lead to nothing, but it's always something you put into the atmosphere and just see if the atmosphere bites back on it. So we're talking about that as well. So plenty to get into and talk about. Let's jump in and talk about it. So obviously Liverpool, morning Spurs, evening Spurs, Terry, Hotspurs Emerson. Good Lord, what a name. Glenn, how are we all? So look, with Liverpool being the more prevalent thing, obviously a game in 2 days, it's important to talk about that. So obviously a team that we only played 2 weeks ago, maybe 2.5 weeks ago, obviously on the 22nd of December. If I'm honest, the injury roundup is going to be so easy for this because Liverpool are healthier this time around. Conor Bradley and Konate are both back from injury, so they actually are stronger now because, well, Konate's their second best centre half behind, obviously, old Verge. I'll get to the news in a minute, Marshall, mate. Game first. Game's more important. With this, obviously, very interesting. But, you know, the rest of their injuries, the only real change now is Nunes. I think he is suspended. Now, they obviously wipe the suspensions. I think once you hit the 20-game mark, they wipe the disciplinaries, so you're back to zero again. But because they had a postponement against Everton, they were actually on 19. So Nunes picking up that booking is why Nunes is suspended for the game, which, you know, you got to remember, you have a team that played a day after us. So, you know, that could factor in. They'll still be healthy, and that's obviously in the long run. They've obviously had next to no injury issues, unlike us, but it's something that maybe, you know, if you are trying to feel positive, you are trying to feel hopeful, then that's something you can hold onto and put your hat on. For Spurs, obviously, we have some good news in terms of, well, let's start with the bad news first. Obviously, Maddison and Sarr, we believe, are both missing due to suspensions, so we know that. But we have some good news, which is, for once, this is weird. Whenever we have injury suspensions, just thinking, we only ever seem to get, if we get one back, we lose two. Or if we get two back, we lose three. This is one of those weird, fresh weeks where actually we've lost two to suspension. We're actually gaining three back. Now, one of them is actually a purchase, which I'm still going to hold on to as actually the fact that we do have an addition. So Kinski has been cleared. His work permit has been put through. He supposedly will train and is available to play tomorrow. So there you go. A little bit of good news on the Kinski front. Richarlison and Mikey are both trained, so they should be back in the squad. If they're not, then when on earth are they ever going to be back in the squad? We were told they were training last week, weren't in the squad last weekend. I expect to see them in the squad this time around. And when I look at the benches recently, I mean, if I just look at the bench in the 6-3 loss, Lucas Bergvall, Timo Werner, Brennan Johnson, Sergio Reguilon, Desi Udogie, Brandon Austin, Will Lancashire, Alfie Dorrington, and Callum Oluseyi. So you'd say Oluseyi is going to miss out. Austin may be on the bench again. Let's say Kinski is playing. We don't know. Desi Udogie will miss out there as well. But if you're replacing, you know, you're going to put in a Richarlison and a Mikey Moore, it's not all doom and gloom. Now, we'll obviously wait to see what Ange says about the centre-half area. Obviously, Dragic went off at half-time, supposedly had nothing left to give. That, for me, sounds a bit like he's got the flu sort of thing. I think that's purely down to, you know, the flu, had some injuries as well. But as much as people do not maybe like Dragic's technical ability, as an out-and-out defender, everyone can rate him. Everyone probably does rate him. But as technical, maybe not the best. If I'm honest, I don't want to see a right back at centre back. I'd rather have a centre back at centre back because, as well, dealing with set pieces, it's nice to have one guy who can actually get up and get to the ball. So looking at that, that's something we'll see what Dragic says. Obviously, looking at team that played last time, Forster in goal, Porro, Dragic, Gray, Spence. That looks like it's probably going to be the back four of Porro, Dragic, Gray, and Spence if they can all play. Obviously, goalkeeper is, I don't know. Forster may even come back into the team. You never know. But we've not heard anything in terms of him being any healthier. You've got Pape, Massar, Basuma, and Maddison as the midfield three. Obviously, we know Pape might miss out there. Basuma, Maddison, I would expect to play. And then your front three was Kulu, Son, and Solanke. I think that'll be the front three, actually, to be fair. So I don't see huge changes in this team from the last time out, if you get what I mean. There'll be some options on the bench, which is nice. You know, you have a Richarlison, you know, Mikey Moore. It's something. It's more than we've had, so that's something you can hold on to. But it's, yeah, I mean, it's trending in the right way. You know, it's just trending in the right way. Lord knows it's just going to do this straight away afterwards, but we'll get to that when we get there. But one thing I wanted to talk about was the game last night, the Liverpool-Manchester United game. It was a 2-2 draw. I mean, Liverpool, I don't think played all that well. I actually thought Man United were by far the better team in the first half in terms of link-up play, creating of chances. And on a different day, you know, had Bruno maybe taken a better touch here or there, or Dallo taking a better touch here or there, they would have created even more chances, and it wouldn't have shocked me if they would have scored one. Liverpool struggled. I mean, Alisson in goal, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Gravenberg, Curtis Jones, McAllister, Salah, Gakpo, and Diaz. I mean, that's pretty much their strongest 11 as well. You might say that the game, a player here or there maybe gets into that team, but for the most part, that is their strongest team. It's not like us where you go, okay, so you're missing 2 centre-halves, your 6 is missing, you know, and you start to go through it and go, oh, actually, you're missing players. Now, sorry, my camera's all rubbish. There we go. Now, obviously, Bentancur should be back, but I've been saying this about Bentancur, and I've been, you know, I'm like, yeah, Bentancur's back. I'm really happy about that. You know, he's my favourite midfielder. I think he's our best midfielder. And every time I watch him, he does either something stupid in terms of picking up a stupid foul, which he never should have got. He should never have gone and got that booking. He's an idiot for that. Or he just looks tired. And I would get it if, like, your Pape Matasars are tired. Because I'm like, look, that guy's playing like 3 games a week. He is a bit dead. Bentancur shouldn't be. Those 7 game suspensions that he had, he played twice within that. So it wasn't like he had 6 weeks off and did nothing. He'd have the odd week or 2 off and then play a game. So he looks leggy, and he shouldn't, of all the players, he's one that shouldn't be leggy. So if he is playing, I'm hoping for the third time's a charm, that he actually comes in and plays at the football level that we expect of Rodrigo, because we haven't seen it when he has been playing recently, and he does need to, he needs to help us as we're struggling so much, you know? Hey, Brady, mate, how are you? It's a massive game. Every player needs to turn up. We need to start winning games, capitalise on our dominance over the opposition. This is one of those games where we might not have the dominance on that side of things. I think Kulu needs a breather. He's looking leggy. Well, I'm going to come to that in a minute, Terry. Ian and Sonia, how are you? The reason why I'm going to come to that, Terry, I'm going to come to it now, actually. Al Dente, you're right, mate. The reason I'm going to come to it now, we played Tamworth at the weekend. Right, so we play non-league opposition. They're not in the top 4 leagues of English football. I'm waving to you. There you go. Is it a hot day? There you go. My hands are fan. Jazz hands. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, what is it? Talladega Nights. I don't know where I put my hands at times. Great film. Getting sidetracked. But look, with Tamworth at the weekend, that's where you'd be like, right, Lancashire needs to play. Mikey, if he can play 60 minutes, he's playing. You know, Timo Werner probably plays in a game like that, to be fair. 165 grand a week. Tamworth. Mental. Because like that, a game like that is like Richarlison. Right, let's get Richie some minutes. Because you go, right, Solanke, you pull Solanke, right? You get him like this. Mate, you come here. Stop trying to play football all the time. Go sit over there for a minute. You have a weekend off. Play foot champs like you normally do, and just enjoy it in peace. That game at the weekend, we should be playing as many rotational option pieces as possible. Like, the people that want to see Reguilon, right, Reguilon, mate, Tamworth at the weekend screams your name, bud. Dorrington, maybe. You know, those sort of players. Lucas Bergvall. just saying. You could put some rotational pieces out there for that game. I mean, look, if you're not going to see Kinski against Liverpool, which I don't know if we will truly see him against Liverpool, but I tell you what, Brandon Austin. Sorry, if Kinski's not playing tomorrow, but Wednesday, sorry, maybe play him on Saturday or Sunday. Whatever. Well, hang on a minute. Sunday, 12:30. Yeah, for me, you go for this game just because you've got Sunday is the next game, and then Wednesday is when you play after that against Arsenal. So I should be looking at this game as right. We're going all out. We're just going to go hammer and tongs, leave nothing left in the tank. Sunday, we're rotating with wholesale changes. Ready for then these guys who emptied their tank against Liverpool on Wednesday to be ready to go for the following Wednesday against Arsenal. That's my thinking about it. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you go, actually, I now want to change and tweak what you said to maybe fit what I'm trying to say. But that's the thinking I am. Tamworth, I'd rather have the weekend off and, all these guys get another week of recovery. But Tamworth's a great opportunity for some of these youngsters, I think. Let's see those Bergvals. If we can get Archie... Actually, no. I was going to say, if we can get Archie Gray into the midfield, let's see it. But part of me goes, actually, maybe he could do with the rest. I mean, he's ill at the moment, so maybe he could do with the rest. And just let him have a week off. Let him have, because he's going to be at centre-back in about 2 months' time anyway. So what's the point of risking it now, Benta Biss and Bergval, I think Maddison will play because he didn't play that many minutes because he was ill ahead of the game. He wasn't healthy ahead of the Wolves game. But I think Maddison, because Maddison was solid last time out against Liverpool, which I'm going to come to that game in a minute. Kinski, Regulon, Dorrington, Dragic, Spence, Bergval, Sal, Maddison, Werner, Lancashire, Johnson. Against Tamworth. Yeah, I don't hate it. Don't hate it. No, I don't hate that, al dente. Fair enough, mate. Talking about the game then, Spurs losing 6-3 last time out. We're going to have a few changes in this team. We actually look at it on paper. Spurs got on the ball. It was just the fact that 1 in every 2 shots goal they had was a shot on target. And then they scored 50% of that, which is an obscene amount because when you look at them against Manchester United, they scored 1 in every 3. So that's about 33%. That's a 17% drop, which is quite a lot. But obviously, Liverpool play their best games of the seasons against Spurs. We know that. That's fact. So, we'll see about that. Kolo Muani confirmed. What do you mean? Well, you'll see in a minute. You'll see in a minute, mate. You'll see in a minute. Good Lord. Can't disrespect Tamworth. Go strong, get a lead, then rotate. I don't think we need to be going out there playing your first 11, Groucho. If you can't beat them with 8 or 9 changes, you need to shut the football club down. No offense. Yeah, but a part of me, Slims, when I was thinking, what was I saying about Maddison? Yeah, Maddison can't play. What I'm on about? I was being an idiot there. Kulu's in the centre then. Sorry. I said Salah wouldn't play. I completely forgot. Maddison, right. He's not playing. So he might play against Tamworth. Even then, I'm like, keep him away. Let him rest up and bring him against Arsenal where he's had, a week and a bit's rest where he's going to be fit, No, not yet, Van Gogh, mate. KVN, how are you, mate? Jessica? Janice, sorry, how are you? Bentancur will come back. My thinking is Bentancur will come back and be the 6. And Bergvall will be the 8. It's a Swedish connection in the midfield. Kulu needs to be better this time around at the 10 because when I have seen him at the 10, he's not controlled the game well enough. He tries all these stupid flicks and things like that. They haven't come off. It's one of those things. So we'll see about that. But yeah, for me, I think predictions-wise, I think Spurs will lose 2-1. I do. Yeah, just double checking. Yeah. Richarlison, Mikey Moore, and Kinski all took part in training. That's good. It's about damn time, but it is good. And he was granted his UK work permit this afternoon. Ooh, that's fun. Right, talking about Kolo Muani, because we've got a little bit of update on the situation. So Romano has said that Spurs have made contact with PSG to understand the deal. You also have Paul O'Keefe saying that they are trying to sign him. But there is this. Supposedly so, Ryan Taylor saying that supposedly so, Juventus are leading the race to sign him. I mean, if you want to go play some god-awful football, then by all means. Where are you then, the Serie A? Serie A table, where are Juve? 5th. Juve have played 18 games. They've won 7, drawn 11, and lost 0. That's such a weird little setup. They're behind a team. I mean, think about this at the start of the season. I'd say 18 games in, you've lost 0 games. You're thinking, hell yeah. And then I go, you're not in the Champions League spots and you're behind a team that's lost 6 games. You'd go, sorry? It's one of those ones. They're not prolific goal scorers and they can see just under 1 a game. Oh, it's one of those old school Serie A teams, isn't it? Oh, Jesus. Why would you want to play there? No offense, but why would you want to play there? Not winning anything anyway. Hopefully more starts against Town. Yeah, I'd hope. Here we go. David Ornstein. Tottenham, Manchester United and Juventus exploring deal to sign Randall Kolo Muani on loan from PSG. Spurs, Manchester United, Juve interest expressed, currently viewed as top contenders, regard the 26-year-old PSG France forward among best versatile attackers available. That has just come out 2 minutes ago from David Ornstein. So I'll repeat that again. Just in case I read it a bit quickly. Don't worry, I got you. Tottenham, Manchester United, Juventus. I was right about Juventus, by the way. Exploring deal to sign Randall Kolo Muani on loan from PSG. Spurs, Manchester United, Juventus. Interest expressed, currently viewed as top contenders regarding the 26-year-old PSG and French striker among best versatile attackers available, which I think that's how I would sum him up as a versatile attacker. What can we learn from Man United's draw with Liverpool? That if you can play through their initial press, you can get them. The same with Spurs. If you pass through the initial press on Spurs, you can get us. Same thing. You think we're getting around a corner? Is it worth it? Kolo Muani is, for me, a deal that, look, I'm not the biggest fan of this deal. Okay. Now, I've always been of the idea that if a manager wants a player, even if you don't want him, you back it. Now, you don't have to love it, but you sort of back it because you go, well, he's the guy in charge. If he feels like he needs this player to do his job better than he has been, you give him that player. Now, I think a loan deal, option to buy, I'm on board. I don't want to get tied into an obligation. And obviously, this isn't going to be a permanent deal. Everyone knows this will be a loan deal. I mean, Juventus and Man United have got worse financial situations than we do. So if we're going to go for a loan, they'll be going for a loan. Now, they might do an obligation of sorts, but I will be just doing a loan. So I keep looking to the right. I'm watching the Pat McAfee show previous, and I forgot to pause it. And he's got Michael Cole from WWE on there with him because they got Raw's on Netflix, which I do every week, a Raw review on the second channel. So there you go. We can beat Liverpool if they against Man United. Yeah, they weren't good against Man United. Juve will go for Xerxes. Not a bad shout, Kavian. I've seen cup upsets. I've seen cup upsets. But what I would say is, mate, if you can't beat, like I said, if you can't beat a national league side, who, can I just say, they are 16th in the National League. Then they are 21 points behind first. There's many points behind first pretty much as games played. So you need to be able to play some of those youngsters and rotational pieces and still win by a few. Kolo Muani is the second option. I see Xerxes going to Juventus and Darwin Núñez will move to Milan, I think. I don't think they'll move Núñez. I think they're going to want to hold on, add a little bit to, really push for all four. and then they'll move off of players in the summer. I can see Kolo Muani deal getting drawn out by PSG for the highest bidder. Wouldn't you? They don't mind paying a few extra weeks of wages if they can obviously get the deal they want. I totally get that. And I think from what I've been reading, supposedly this deal might drag on a little bit this window. Now, let's be real. Spurs will obviously not be putting all their eggs in the basket on this player. They'll have other attackers. Well, they'll be lining up other attackers and having other deals in preparation. All teams do. I mean, Paul O'Keefe's saying that we're looking for a forward that can play across the front line. That's what Kolo Muani can do. A centre-back / left-sided defender and potentially a defensive midfielder, but not a massive priority. Obviously, all these things are dependent on opportunities. Well, Kolo Muani ticks though the books on, versatile attacker across the front three. Now, do I think he's a great player? I really want him when we were selling Kane. I really wanted him. But I haven't really seen enough of him over the last year and a half to make me sit there and jump out my seat again. Unless the deal is quite favourable, then I can be on board with it. But, and people will go, but it's not your money. It's go, that's not important. So there you go. Fabrizio Romano said that Spurs made contact with PSG to understand the conditions of a deal to sign Kolo Muani. Juve, Villa, and many other clubs have Kolo Muani on the shortlist. He's then added to say Kolo Muani is due to leave PSG this month, with Tottenham, Juve, and more clubs well informed. So there you have it. There we have it. I think we're going to be active in that deal then. God, I tell you what, it's busy this evening. I thought I'd have a nice chilled one. Here's a bit of update on Kolo Muani. You take that and run to the bank with it. Here's Liverpool preview. No, right now I'm getting breaking news. Mental. And I would have gone live for it, but you wouldn't have had it for another 20 odd minutes. So it's just great. But yeah, with Kolo Muani, if it is a guy that is going to stay fit, which that's a shout. Let's just quickly look at his previous season. Because he's barely played this year. I mean, I would sit there and go, look at this. He's played 2.5 times the amount of Richarlison. You go, God, he's played a lot of football. And you realise Richarlison's played nearly as much football as I have for Spurs this year. So last year, he played 44 times across all competitions, the Liga and Champions League, Coupe de France. He did play some time. He did have some time for, obviously, in the Bundesliga. So Bundesliga, DFB Pokal, the Conference League qualifiers, and the Trophy des Champions. So look, it looks like he's somewhat durable, which for me is somewhat the massive, massive leap. Let me leap on that. He's going to be fit when it's literally something. You know what I mean? Kolo and Kulu on the same team. Yeah, Kolo to Kulu, Kulu to Kolo. The poor man's Mbappe. Mbappe's pretty decent, to be fair. Drop Johnson, put Porro right wing. I don't want Porro at right wing. We haven't got the players to be dicking around playing right backs at right wings or left backs at left wings. We're having to play midfielders at the back because we don't have enough players free. So keep the players in their positions. Personally, I'd rather play Kulusevski on right wing. There you go. I'll level you up on that. Kolo on test drive only. He's been terrible this season. Maybe a change of scenery would do him some good. Yeah, it's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. There's right. By the way, I don't mind the shout about Porro at right wing. That sounded rude of me. I wasn't meaning to be rude. My whole thing was just like, we don't have fit defenders, and the ones we do have, we're then targeting the idea of playing them in other positions as well. It's like, the last thing we need to do is risk more and more getting injured, As you have inverted wingers to make Kolo Muani and Son to excel. And these people that put the balls in the box. He put the balls in the box, Kolo's confirmed as a transfer or signing on loan. He's not been confirmed. I've not missed anything. No, it's not been confirmed. I have just read out the updates, by the way. The breaking news I have read. I mean, Florian Plettenberg 2 minutes ago. Spurs are one of the clubs seriously interested in a loan deal for Kolo Muani. No final decision yet. More clubs involved. Yeah, so still a PSG player. Not. Oh, is Kolo confirmed? Right, got you. No, not confirmed. But we have all the big names, sources, all saying Spurs are in here. And Spurs have inquired. So this is something that has legs. Now, is it something that we all want? Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. Kolo Muani, yes or no? You tell me. You tell me, are you a Kolo Muani guy or are you not? Play Van Everest Termas as punishment. We're playing as wide away, so let's use him as much as possible. Polo's a great crosser if he overlaps. I think Polo's a great crosser when the guy cuts it back to him and he just whips it first time. That's how it worked at the weekend. Excuse me. But yeah, I think, look, if Kolo Muani is going to stay fit, I'm going to take that. If manager actually likes him, to be honest, I didn't want Solanke to happen. And look, I wasn't sure if I wanted Solanke to happen either. He wasn't my first choice, and look what happens. Ended up being the right choice. If it's not an obligation to buy, it gives us more options in the summer. Agreed, Callum. Agreed, mate. I say loan with an option, yes, but otherwise no. Kolo on loan with no obligation for me. Yeah, I think an option. I think we're all singing from the same hymn sheet. Loan option. Loan option. I think we'd all. I think I would also want an option if we're doing it. You know, because it gives us the ability that if we do want him, we do it, and if we don't, we go no. Or that he does somewhat well, and you go, we do like him, but we kind of want a deal on him, like we did with Kulu, which I also don't hate that idea. You know, I also think with PSG, I think PSG want to start moving some of these big wages off the books. If you aren't aware, they're going through a transitional period at the moment where what they want to do is buy younger and buy French, if possible. Kind of wants his mid-20s. So, absolutely no for a Kolo. Sorry, I keep calling him Kulu. Kolo. So you're saying Kulu. Levy won't agree in obligation. That is what is being said. I don't think he would agree to it, nor would I want him to agree to it. I think that'd be a rookie mistake, and he's no rookie when it comes to these sort of deals. He fails a lot of them. I would want to focus more on a left-sided defender in the summer, go for a beast of a winger. Well, I think they might even look at a Kolo Muani as a striker. I think that's how, do you know what? I think that's how they'll view him in the end. Striker. I don't think they'll view him as a winger. He can play wing, but I think they'll view him as a striker. Kolo could be the new Ndombele 2.0. Oh, Terry. Oh, I can hear ghosts. I can hear ghosts in my past. They're terrifying. But by the looks of things, I think for the most part, we all sort of agree. I think we also all agree that if we are going to do a loan, put an option in there. Don't be doing an obligation. You know what I mean? And Levy won't do an obligation. Pora is the best cross yet. Levy should be won't commit. Yeah, no, I agreed. He uses pace much better than Johnson and Son. We need Dorgu, should be top of priority this window. Terry, stop it. Stop that, Terry, because that's what I want. And I don't like it when people agree with me too much, mate. I was wrong about Solanke. I was running around the summer telling everyone how bad Solanke's first touch was, and he shut me up and proved how good he was for us. He's been brilliant, and his first touch is pretty damn good. I can't lie. So, yeah, by the looks of things, we are active in a Kolo Muani deal. Now, the only thing that I think about in this Kolo Muani deal is Man United will pay bigger wages. Now, Man United are cheap at the moment, but Man United will pay bigger wages. Juve have never had any issues paying big wages. They just want really cheap transfer deals. So that's the only pause for concern. The only way Spurs would get around that is if they get an option in there where we would say, let's say they both would take him on for 30 million, we take him on for 40. Maybe that's how they go, you know? It's my thinking, at least. Dorgan Cardos would be great. 30 million Dorgan's worth it. Well, maybe they might agree that, but for the summer, you know, good show, fun. Absolutely. Cheers, Groucho. No, the really good stuff on the Kolo Muani side of things. Obviously, keep your bell notification linked on because, look, we are going to be going live, I reckon, a lot a lot this window, and you don't want to be missing out on anything we go live on. Also, if you do want to join, there's a Discord. We chat in there every day, us Spurs fans. I think there's about 15 of us. We chat in there. Join us. It's free. Doesn't cost you a thing. Who just says getting this summer? Oh, no idea, mate. I'll think about that a bit closer to the time. Could depend on, Zirk. Do you know what? Xerxes could slow them down, and you never know. I mean, PSG might wait it out and see, but that'll slow them down. But we shall see. But anyway, yeah. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. Go and enjoy the rest of your evenings, everyone. I think there's some football on this evening. Wolves are playing this evening. So go and enjoy some football if you want to. I don't blame you if you don't. And we'll be back tomorrow with the loan roundup and hopefully some more good transfer news. Take care, everyone. Peace.